you're making someone out there feel something. And that means the most, even if it's just one person. Your art doesn't suck. A lot of times we are our biggest critics, or the people around us, or people in a certain industry that might tell us like, you're not ready to do this, you're not ready to do that. So first of all, what is art? I think art is anything that you create, whether that's digitally, like creating videos, painting, making music. It's like so versatile. There's a lot of people that make art and they're not even aware of making art. The next thing, which is very important, is the meaning of art. To me, the meaning of art means that you're making something that makes other people feel something. It's triggering positive or negative emotions, and people will be able to identify themselves with your art, or it will help them maybe during a hard time of their life, like certain kind of music that makes you feel something. Paintings, maybe an inspiring story on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. It was a part of art and the meaning of art. And I think it's totally fine if you're the only person feeling something throughout your art, and you're the only person that reaches your art because you don't have an audience yet. I'm a graphic designer, so if you design something or you're new to all the different kinds of software, like me opening Photoshop for the first time, I was completely overwhelmed. And even if you know how to use certain tools, it still doesn't look like you want it to look like. And a lot of times you can end up in that spiral of thinking, I'm not good enough, because you're comparing yourself to someone that's been in the industry for like 10 years, and that's something you should not compare yourself to. And that's why I'm saying your art doesn't suck. You just need more repetition doing your stuff. And what I think helps a lot is just going with the flow and how you feel, because when I went to the art fair last year in New York, and I met so many different kind of artists, and they were all telling me that they started not even wanting to start into art. They just started during COVID and just drawing just like a line or something, and then they would add a line the next day or something, like very small. And I think art and life in general is kind of like a puzzle with so many different pieces, and you don't know how the end result is going to look like. So it's kind of like an invisible puzzle, finding the pieces, putting them together, and it just looks weird, and there's not really a shape or form, and you don't know how the picture is going to look like. But by adding something every day, something small, you're going to get better and shaping it. And just that whole process, that whole journey, that makes you as an artist, that is going to be your story of how you started and how you kept on pushing through, and how you're going to put yourself out there and grow as an artist, and not just stop because you think your art sucks, or someone thinks your art sucks because they don't see your potential because you're just starting out. And that's what happened with my journey as a graphic designer. I was always very judgy with myself and telling myself, you're not good enough, comparing my art. There's so many people out there that are like way more creative, but there are also so many people out there that are way less creative and might even be more successful because they just learned one tiny skill to be extremely good at, and just market themselves better, being able to charge for higher prices, whatever it is. But that just made me realize, like, okay, we need to give ourselves more credit for our art. To me, like, how my art exposed in my life was by creating collages of different things. There were a decent amount of people who were like, that's really creative, you should be a graphic designer. And I would always tell myself, I'm not creative enough to be a graphic designer. Until I went to graphic design school and saw that there are so many different kinds of people and so many different kinds of personalities and creativity, and just everything like blended in. Every person was a graphic designer with a different capacity of being creative or a different kind of style. Just seeing that, being exposed to different kinds of people being creative, also helped me to see like, okay, I'm also creative in a different kind of way than all these other people, but you are enough as an artist, and everyone has that certain kind of potential. You just need to be able to kind of like find that with time. And that's just been something like when it comes to my Instagram feed, I like to do those collages still, and putting pictures of food, of myself, of other things that I saw traveling, put all of these things together to create this feed that I have on Instagram, or even my vision board that I have in my room. These are also pictures that I cut out and put them all together, and that's something that I really enjoy doing. And there are a couple of people like if we credit and they're like, that's so cool. And a lot of times I'm like, but it's not even that much work. But at the same time, your art doesn't have to look like you're painting and it looks like an actual picture. Some people are able to do that, and that's really cool that they're able to do that. But just because you can't do that doesn't mean that you are not an artist. And that's something that we need to realize and remind ourselves, that art is so versatile and there are so many different people that are into art. And there are definitely people out there that are going to enjoy the stories that you're telling, the craft that you put into. They will be able to relate to that. You're making someone out there feel something. And that means the most, even if it's just one person. Comparing yourself to those big artists doesn't change your situation anyways. So where you are right now doesn't mean that you're going to stay there. We're always going to evolve and make progress, and that's the beauty of life. And starting out with anything is really hard in the beginning, especially following people in that specific industry and seeing where they are at. But I think we can easily overcome it by not comparing ourselves this much to the bigger people, just adding something every day. Most artists that start out still have a 9-to-5 job because they can't live off of their art. So it's really important that you use the time that you have, but also to not pressure yourself too much and be like, okay, I need to draw one picture per day in order to get better. Just start as small as you need to still feel comfortable doing. If it's just drawing one line per day, let it just be one line per day. And sometime you might feel like making two. That way your art is going to evolve and you're going to add certain things depending on how you feel, and you're able to kind of use your art outlet, your creative outlet, that's going to give you energy. And the more energy you're getting from it, the more energy you're able to put into it, and that way you're going to grow and evolve as an artist, going to get better at your craft. That's what's going to push you and give you the fuel to put more energy into it, and also to receive more out of your art and reach more potential audiences instead of being really forced in the situation. All of our lives are so different, so your story deserves to be told, heard, and understood by all these other people out there. And I promise you, there will be someone out there that's really going to appreciate what you bring to the table. Even if you can't see it yet, it will be so worth it. And just because you can't see it right now, it doesn't mean that you're going to waste your time putting your energy into something. It just needs more time to form into something bigger than it is right now. I'm so looking forward to see where this journey with YouTube is going to take me as well. And I'm excited to see myself grow, to see others grow, and to help others find their potential. Just because you have a rough start in life or a rough start in a certain relationship, anything, all these things we can learn from, and we can use what we learn from that and put it into our art and make those people feel something. There are so many things that haven't been created or put out of there because we all have ideas, and sometimes we have the idea as someone else, but art is about who's going to put it out there, who's going to publish that photo, who's going to combine, different feels, mix it together in like their own unique style and put it out there, and people are going to, love what you do. And that's why you shouldn't stop. Please keep on going, and you got this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Put your art out there and not feel insecure about thinking that your art sucks, because that might just show you that you're at the beginning of this journey, and to kind of like flip the way that you think about it and see it more as something positive. That means that there is room to grow. I hope you're gonna like this video and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!